Hello there, checking in. This is Dr. Karen Dade. Hi, how are you, Neander? I'm about to get started. Love you, love you. It's been, this is our 21st day, and in 21 days, the amount of things that have happened um, is just overwhelming. And so we are going to be focusing today, of course. This is MIDC, Multicultural International Development Company, coming at you. The component of MIDC that is hosting this particular 30 days, 30 minutes a day self-love boot camp challenge is the MIDC We Network, Women's Empowerment Network. And so I just want to welcome everyone on. Again, I'm Dr. Karen Dade, and it's just a pleasure to be here. At the same time, it's not with the greatest happiness to have to really address all of the things that are going on right now for us in this world, in our country. And so I am so looking forward to today. We have as a guest Devin Marie Donaldson. She is my middle daughter. She's incredible. She's an incredible photographer. She's also a real estate broker, and she's just so creative that I can't wait for her to share the presentation today, which is Futures and Dreams. And so as Devin and I planned on having this session with everyone today, we had really planned on an angle that would be from self-love, and the photographs that she would be taking would coincide pretty much with many of the things that we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of meditation, learning to breathe better, just learning to strengthen our minds, bodies, and spirits. And so as she began to coordinate that, all of these other things just have taken place. And so how can we ignore what it is that we're feeling? When I stop and I think about George Floyd, and I just think about the visual that we received, it was as though that knee was on not only my neck, but all of our necks, and that we cannot breathe. And so as we've been really focusing on deeper breathing to be able to release stress and to get more in tune with our inner beings, how much more necessary that has become as we're just really, really trying to breathe here. And so again, I want to welcome everyone. I'm glad that you joined in. Our show today, usually on Sunday, we have a Q&A, and actually we are going to open for questions and answers as we're, first we're going to go through Devin's presentation, which is going to be actually a gallery, a virtual gallery exhibit. But the exhibit pieces that she'll be talking about will make a lot of sense in how I've opened up today's session. Just connecting with all of what is going on and all of what we're feeling and having to take within, right? And so self-love, the idea of self-love and wanting to do a 30-day boot camp challenge really was sparked by the coronavirus and how we can just make sure that we can be strong and stay healthy and have well-being as the virus is going on. How could we do that? And now, of course, and it's always been, it's just escalated. When we see just in the month of May alone, those who we've lost through police brutality, and all that is happening now in the streets is such a repeat for me, from generation to generation, and seeing the types of protests and things that are happening. So it's just so much going on. And self-love and the idea of nurturing self-love is about it doesn't mean that we don't love ourselves. We surely do. Oftentimes what happens is we think of others first, and therefore when we're thinking of others first and we're not taking that full care of ourselves, we can be depleted of energy. And that's kind of, again, how all of this started. But really, to be quite honest with you, when I think about being born in a country and having ancestors that were forced to come to this country on slave ships, and just the history that, as Michelle Alexander has said, that we are still in it. It is just the new Jim Crow, as she talks about that. We have really, generation to generation, we're really going through post-traumatic slave syndrome that has never had its chance to dissipate. And so I know there's a lot going on, not only for those who are of African descent and those who are of color, but just in a broad sense, just us as human beings. There's so much going on right now. And so how can we lift ourselves in this? How can we join together in a love energy that will help us to kind of figure out, what do we need to do? Yes, we get out and we protest and we shout, and we, many of us, because we're standing up, we're arrested, we're put in jails. It's all kinds of things, one after another, that happens, right? And yet we do all of that just to turn around and have to do that all over again. And so how can we just collectively pull together our energies to begin to devise ways that can be so diversified that it's impossible not to have real long-lasting change come from that. And so this is, I think, what faces all of us right now today. What more can we do, and what are those things that we must do for change as human beings in this world, right? And so again, we've been talking about self-love and being able to, through the breath, be more in touch with our inner being, so that we can be more in touch with our inner voices. And those inner voices are also part of our ancestors' voices as well. And when we're able to be in a position where we can make that connection, we can get those answers that we seek for change. So that's pretty much a position that I'm coming from, added to a number of other positions. And so we just need to bring all of these things to the table to be able to, there's got to be change. There's no way that things can continue to go the way that they're going in this world. And so, yes, we're standing up, and we're standing up in many different ways. And so this is just a part of that, right? It's a part of that, and in giving love. So I want to just say hello to all that are on today. Just sending out great love to everyone. We need it. We need to share it. We need to tell each other how much we love one another, as well as telling ourselves how much we love us. Okay. We've internalized a lot of things just through the socialization in living in one of the greatest countries of the world today. And so how do we process all of that? And so I'm looking forward. I'm going to have Devin, who, good. Okay, I'm going to click Devin in. I've been talking a lot about Devin and her work, and I love you, love you, love you. Here we go. Okay, this is overt exposure coming on live. She's connecting. Hello,
Hello.
daughter dear. How are you doing?
Hi, Mom. I'm good here in LA. You guys might hear some choppers or sirens behind me. I'm pretty close to the action, so.
Yeah, yeah. We worried all night for you and the family there, Dev. And I'm just glad that you've stayed in touch and that you all are safe. But I know that all of this has motivated you to offer a different uh, presentation today. And so
Yeah,
I want to just thank you so much for being willing to do that in the midst of all that's going on.
of
So I'm
course.
going to go ahead and you can give me directions on what you need me to do.
Okay.
I
Well,
can't
I
disappoint the
mean,
audience.
I have a show of about, I want to say 35 to 40 different images for you guys to take a look at. I figured I would sort of break down my perspective and what I see, what is evoking me within each image. But I also want to give you guys time to, you know, uncover that for yourself. I know a lot of people connect with art in different ways. So, you know, I want to give you the opportunity to actually be able to take a look and see what you see and what emotional feeling it brings out of you. Like you said, I initially was planning to do something more along the lines of self-love and beauty and, you know, I have this kind of slogan that I use for myself. It's called beauty in strange places. And I would really say that that's my aesthetic. I like the idea of something that may not traditionally be thought of as beautiful can be beautiful in its own moment, time, and place. So, you know, that's what I really look for within each of the images that I capture. Those are the ones that are most moving to me. And over the last few days, with my mind being so preoccupied about what's going on in the world, and especially all the action being literally blocks away from where I am, I've been really preoccupied with thoughts of, you know, injustice and what's going on in the world today and wanting to do something and make a change. And so for me today, self-love is mental health. It's about talking about what I'm feeling, releasing those feelings. And it's always been historically for me easier to share my thoughts by creative avenues. And so today, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. So the theme of the show that I have for you guys today is called Futures and Dreams. And it really gravitates towards ideas of potential and innocence, you know, juxtaposed with oppression and, you know, the cards you're dealt. It's also about coming to a realization, having a breakthrough moment with protesting and allies, and that being where we're able to break the shackles and find our strength and be the change that we're looking for. So I just wanted to give you that going into it. You'll notice a lot of my imagery is very punchy, contrasty. Color is something I use a lot in a meaningful and powerful way for me. And also the lack of color is a way that I sort of express a deep emotion. So, like I said, it's going to be beauty in strange places, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to switch over the camera now.
Okay. And you're going to kind of talk us.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a sort of just idea of where my mind is at with each. I'm not talking to you now. Okay. So hopefully I can get these images pretty nice here. Okay, so I'm going to just take my charger. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I just want to welcome everyone on as you're coming on. Just thank you so much for being here today with us on this Sunday. A bit of a sad Sunday.
Yeah. It is. And I feel like this photo right here really speaks to the moment with
Yeah.
liberty and justice for some.
Mm-hmm.
This is a photo of graffiti that is downtown LA. I actually took this picture, and a lot of these photos are taken during the Women's March, which happened, I think, in 2018. Um, but so a lot of these pictures, especially the protest ones, that's when they were taken. I wasn't actually out in the streets this weekend. But if you look here, it says, like all the homeless we ignored on this march.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And to me, that is just so evident of the struggle within the struggle, that the work is never done, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We have to continuously be fighting for changes and be fighting, on this front for equality for all people.
Yeah.
It's just something that's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
This photo I call Cherished Innocence. This is my nephew, Genoa. In this photo, he's about 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so beautiful. It captures me. It's very breathtaking for me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I look at this and say, when does society decide what his life's going to be?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. They look at this child and they already label him a thug.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just tragic and devastating to me that him and all his beautiful glory can be looked at as a threat. Now this one says, I raise my voice not so that I can shout, but so that those without one can be heard. And that's just a powerful message.
It is.
For, from our allies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the crowd in this shot as well. The diversity.
Yes.
It's just, it runs the gambit. Young, old, black, white, brown. It just doesn't matter. We're all in this fight together.
Mm-hmm.
This one is just, this evokes feelings of promise for me. She looks so promising in here. Look at her wonderment for the world. Look at her eyes, the way they're lighting up at whatever she's looking at. It's just, there's so much to be fulfilled there. And I feel like the prior photo really speaks to this one, especially for me, because I feel like I raise my voice. I get out there and fight for the generation that's coming after me. That's for right. My daughter and my nieces and my nephews. That is my job and my responsibility to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm smiling.
You can really see that.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is a shot of the moon, and you can't really, it's not great on my phone. It doesn't do it justice at all. Let's see if I can get it closer. Yeah. No, it doesn't look much better.
That aura around the.
But that, and that was what really captured me about this particular photo, is within the blackness, there's just so much going on. There's so much depth there. There's so much beauty. There's so much drama, and without this deep darkness, the moon wouldn't be able to shine the way that it does.
Tell it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now for this image, if you can see, she's standing on a ledge that's over the sea, over the ocean. And for me, this image really gives me, evokes emotions regarding options, choices, what choices we're given in life. A lot of us, especially coming from backgrounds who are less fortunate, are not granted very many options.
Right.
You're left with the choices that are in front of you.
This is so powerful, Dev.
And that's what this speaks to for me, is she's come to the end of the road. What are her options? And she's just a child. Yeah. Looking out ahead of her and wondering, what's next for me? This is one of my favorite of the protest photos, just because of this beautiful family right here who's out there fighting for each other. And they have their young daughter there who, she probably won't remember that experience, but it's just teaching your children to fight for what you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only just teaching, you know, to fight for what they believe in, but it's about joining up, resistance, you know, it's about, hey, sis, I got your back.
Yeah.
And teaching them that young
That's
will
right.
avoid all of, you know, some of these issues that we're having right now with people not being understanding of what others are going through.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is one of my favorites. Neonda, there you are, girl. With this one, it just gives me such vibes of beauty and power. But the eyes for me, she looks like she's telling a story. She has a story there. You know, there's such depth. Just the feeling and emotion that it evokes. You wonder what she's thinking, what she's been through, where she's been, you know? But at the same time, it's so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that combination of just beauty and strength and perseverance. You don't know what she had to go through to get to this point, but she's there.
He's there. Mm-hmm.
Now for this image, for this one, this is whatever it takes to me, in that, you know, whatever it takes for me to feel free. What do I have to do to give myself freedom to relax?
Yeah.
And that's what this speaks to. And even in that moment, he doesn't look happy either. He still looks stressed.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot on his mind, a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
And we don't understand what that struggle is, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see it.
Yeah.
I love this photo. My other sister, Court.
Mm-hmm.
So with this one, you know, this one reminds me of that show. What is it? Mary Tyler Moore, where she throws her hat up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
That's the vibe. I don't know how I remember that. But this is the vibe that gives me, because she just looks like she's ready to conquer the world and take it on. Whatever's out there, she's headed there. She's going to get it. You know, and it just has such beauty and strength to it as well. There's nothing stopping her. Not those barriers, not anything else. She's just living her life in color. And this one, just, I know the buildings are super colorful and everything. This was taken in New Orleans in, I want to say 20 something, a couple years back, 2017. This is one of my favorite shots of Courtney.
Yeah.
Yes, confidence, Nee. Exactly. There's such confidence there.
Yeah, definitely. And that color just brings it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a self-portrait. And this one is really just about looking inside of yourself, taking a long look in the mirror, and what do you see? Who's looking back at you? You know, and that's a question for me to answer for myself. I don't know. I'm not going to share that with you guys, with everybody, but you know, that's what this is really about for me. Looking deep into those eyes. What do you see staring back at you? Who are you? You know? This is one of the most, this photo makes me very emotional. It's one of the most emotional photos that I have sort of in my arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what this man had been through. This is also in New Orleans, and I just saw him sitting there with just this look on his face. He was somewhere else mentally, it felt like, almost.
Yeah.
But there, just sitting in the moment, the cop car across the street, tourists are just walking over him like he's not even there. And it just felt really powerful to me. This is another one that I feel has a lot to do with options. Which options life has granted to you, or the world has granted to you, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Looking at the G-Wagon while in distress. Exactly. And I'm telling you, tourists were literally walking over this man like he wasn't there. You know, it just feels just like oppression to me.
I mean, this is the world we're living in.
Yeah. I mean, and this was in 2017. This wasn't a long time ago. This is another photo that gives me a lot of hope and joy for the world because of just the diverse group that come together as allies for our cause, you know, to get rid of this oppression that holds us all back. Because it's not only holding Black people back. It's, you know, it's not only holding people of color back. When racist people can learn to let go of that hatred, there's such a bright future for what they could potentially do with their life and so many more options, you know, and ways to collaborate instead of harboring hate. That's just destroying yourself from the inside out. But yeah, I liked her message that we will resist. And even in that resistance, sometimes you still feel pinned down and held down. That's what this says to me. You know, it's like, can I get a break? Let me up. You just feel, and even if it's not necessarily physical, there's a mental weight, you know. These type of things can cause depression. I haven't wanted to get out of my bed the last couple of days, just being inundated with all that's going on. And you almost want, oh, I wish things to go back to normal. But what is normal? Normal was not doing it. Normal, what we normalized was not okay. So we need to now get ourselves up and make a change.
Yeah.
We have to light the fire within ourselves, so to speak, and be willing to reach out and grab it. You know?
Yeah.
You can see it.
I love this picture. This is the picture that this is one of the illustration pictures that you have in the 25th hour in the book, right? Didn't we put this in the book?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe we did. Yeah. For me, this photo really represents freedom and just feeling like you can, you know, breathe. Exactly. Breathe in deep. And with all the birds in flight in the background, it feels like you're taking off, you're going somewhere, you know. It's really beautiful. This one it's dark. This one has dark vibes. No, it's about the sides that we're hiding, the people hiding behind the keyboard who don't want to show the face, you know. That's what I feel in this one, is that you're willing to wear the mask and, you know, do these atrocities, but you don't even have the dignity to raise your face and look me in the eyes while you do it. That's the vibe that this one sort of gives to me.
Isn't that reminds me of We Wear the Mask, and I don't know if that was Paul Laurence Dunbar or was that but you know that poem. Remember the poem?
I do. It's striking a chord. I don't exactly remember all the lines, but yeah.
Yeah.
Please. Now this photo is about or rather evokes feelings of whimsy and innocence and almost lost youth, in that as children, a lot of people of color, poor people, as kids really don't get the opportunity to be kids. There's a lot of responsibilities that they have to take on at a young age, and they lose that innocence, and it changes their life, you know, for the rest of their life. And this was sort of about getting back to that childhood, you know, wonder.
Yeah.
And seeing the world in a different light.
Yeah.
Letting the sun shine on your face and being playful and not being fearful, being able to just enjoy the moment. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. This picture gives me so much hope. This is the America that I pray we're headed towards becoming, you know, in all 50 states. I feel like it is like this. California, we have a lot more, you know, liberal people who are definitely more open to different ways of life, you know, but there are still those who are biased and bigoted and whatnot. But this picture to me just shows the beautiful side of the people that live near me. You know, it says, let all mortal let all let mortal tongues awake, let all that breathe partake. America is great through its diversity. And that is what makes America great, in my opinion, is its diversity, in that all these people from unique backgrounds can come together and live in harmony and create a better world for us all to share. This photo I call Love Thy Neighbor. This was a man that lived in the alleyway behind my house for a while. I mean, I haven't seen him probably in the last year or so, but he lived behind my house for a few years, and his name was Joe. He was homeless. He was a homeless man. And he was the sweetest guy. I saw him every day because I would walk to Starbucks before I would get on the bus and head to work. And he would always say hello to me in the morning and say have a good night when I was walking home after work. And I just always wondered why the world had not been kind to him. What had happened to him that led him to that place? Because he was such a kind soul, you know, and it made me feel terrible that there wasn't really much that I could do to help him improve his situation. And it made me want us to find creative solutions as a people to get this man who is deserving of, you know, basic necessities of life, to get him that support and that care. And I don't know, it always just left a question mark in my head of who are we that we let these good people just go by the wayside? Yet we elect Orange Man to the presidency. You know, it's so ass backwards. Okay. I love this image too. This one is just completely about strength and just power. And she almost looks to me like a comic book superhero or something. The way I sort of did the photo, it's really punchy. I did a lot of contrast. You know, and she's just got this beautiful light that's just hitting her in the perfect, you know, highlight area of her face and everything. She just looks so powerful. She's like a warrior princess or something. And just on top of the world, commanding traffic and all of that. It just speaks to the beauty and power that is within all of us, really. I'm sorry, I'm going over a lot, guys.
I think it's fine. We kind of got started, you know, as far as people coming in a little later. So I think it's fine for us to go some extra time.
Okay.
This is so powerful. Yeah, we need this.
This one is, I call this one surveillance. And it's a reminder of the constant state of surveillance that I feel that the Black community is under. You always have to look over your shoulder. There's always someone waiting for you to screw something up, you know, and so they can call the law on you or whatever the case might be. There's always, you know, you're getting tailed by police officers. You're assumed to be a criminal, a thug, a drug dealer, whatever the case might be, you know, and this man's just having a cup of coffee inside of a cafe. But it really gives me that vibe of like a detective took this, you know, a private eye or something. That's what I see when I see this image. This is a person I know, by the way. I didn't take a picture of some guys in a shop, but
we know how sideways that can go. We've just recently experienced, you know, with the two brothers in Starbucks and you know, all that happened.
Exactly. It's just state of surveillance. Even when it's you know, just citizens who think they're some kind of authority want to pull a citizen's arrest or call the cops on you for doing mundane things. Like that's what this photograph speaks to. Okay, this one, this really bright red brick. To me, it's well, I'll give you a little historical background on this. This is Slay College, which is in the French Quarter in New Orleans. It was established like 120 years ago or something. And it's not a HBCU. So when it was initially established as a business school, Black people were not allowed to attend this place. And I feel that the fact that it's still standing there, the relic that it is in the exact same condition, you know, today is just like a reminder of what people went through, and segregation and not being allowed to participate in the American dream and going to school and getting an education and bettering yourself. That was reserved only for whites, you know. And so I thought this image was powerful for that reason. This one I absolutely love, the punchy colors, the contrast, the bright pink and purple, the depth of his face, you know, but you can still see the smile that's there. I feel like a lot of people would see this guy on the corner and say, oh, what is he, selling drugs or something?
What is he up to?
And reality, this guy is a tech entrepreneur. He was formerly a football player for the Rams or something, I think. So it's just, you don't know someone's story based on what they look like. Absolutely. Can a man just stand against the wall and have a smile on his face without someone wanting to mess with that? And I love that he still has joy in his heart. Joy. This one is, it just reminds me of vulnerability when I see this image. There you can see it a little bit better. It feels like a private moment, you know. It feels like something that you, like, what was on my mind, I don't know. But I don't know, it feels vulnerable to me, and there's a softness to it and a realness to it. Just about looking into yourself again.
I mean, this connects so much with what we've been doing, Dev, as far as introspection, you know, and love.
Yeah, exactly. This one, I don't know if you can really see too well, but this is inside of what used to be the Georgia Dome or something like that. It's not there anymore. They rebuilt it. But there's all these contraptions that are holding up the flag. There's like strings, wires, and stuff like that that are holding up the flag, and this roofing here. And it just reminded me of the complicated web that is the systems of oppression in the United States. The things that are holding up this flag, this idea of freedom, you know, they are strings that are being pulled behind the scenes. Wow. And that's what this photo evokes for me. This one, when I see this image, this is about truth. This is about, you know, looking with your own eyes. What do you really see? This is a message about the future. This younger generation who's taken up the responsibility of educating people and, you know, of sharing this message of positivity and inclusivity. These are the kids who are carrying the torch, and I'm proud of them. And they're beautiful. Yeah. The world wants to see this man behind bars. They want to decide his future and his fate for him based on almost impossible circumstances, you know. And here he is just trying to get by. This image, to me, is showing that, you know, freedom ain't free. The promised land is paved with concrete walls. You know what I mean? It's like being in a prison to get up to these heights of freedom that they supposedly say we can achieve. There's darkness and bleakness down below. How do you even get up there?
Make it an impossible climb.
Right. And this is like a homeless encampment behind Melrose, and this also speaks to This
Behind Melrose.
behind Melrose Avenue. This is not a third world country. This is in Los Angeles, West Hollywood. People are living like this. And tourists and everyday people in the neighborhood walk right by it like they don't see a thing. And they don't see anything wrong with it either. It just speaks to how we treat people in the country.
Yeah.
This image for me is again about the strength of a female. She looks so badass. She looks like she's about to go jump on a horse and ride off into the desert.
Yeah.
Doesn't she?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just love it. It's like Black Cowgirl.
The power we have.
Yeah. And it's just so beautiful. Just so beautiful. And again, there's a story. There's a story in that low brimmed hat. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You just want her to tell you, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you come from? What have you been through? I love this. They tried to bury us. They didn't know we are seeds.
We are seeds. I just heard that the other day.
We're the spark. This next generation, these people will come behind us and see all of the work that we're putting into creating a better future for them. They're going to really set this whole movement off. And I feel like that's what this is saying.
Mm-hmm.
We're the seeds.
Definitely.
And there's a seed for you right there.
Seed.
A mother's love.
Seed and seed.
Right. She's willing to
Anyway.
overcome any obstacles to provide for this beautiful little one. And with this one is about really being able to, it looks really orangey, but this is about going after your dreams. Nobody can tell this little girl that she can't be a rock star.
Right.
Who cares what she looks like? You know, she is a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
And these three little boys, just so much promise and potential in them, and they've got each other's backs. You know.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
what I see when I look at this.
Back on there. Yeah. Oh, that makes
you know, and it's also that feeling, even at this young age, that you need to be looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I see.
What a powerful message.
In this image is
that beautiful
an emotional child's eye. You know, seeing through the child's eye. What is she seeing right now?
Yeah.
What are we teaching her? What are we displaying for her? Excuse me. Shh. And this image is freedom to me. We'll finally be able to fly and escape everything, the darkness that's trying to hold us back, the evil, the impossible circumstances and scenarios that we're faced with every day. All of us want to be able to be this bird.
We want to fly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the show. Sorry I went so far over.
I don't think any apology is necessary. You know, it's corny, but it's true. You know, that pictures take the place of 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Although, you know, you may not have felt as though this was going to be totally representative of the self-love work that we've been doing for the past 21 days. Devin, this is the culmination of that. This is where we're at right now. And it is about love, the expression, the hope that you've given through these photographs, the beauty that you've shared, the pain that you've shared, the reality that you've shared. You have such an incredible, beautiful, warm, and loving heart that it's no surprise to me that you could produce this work. But this work is part of the teaching that we all need, Devin, and all that are on. You know, right now we're using photographs just to be able to calm ourselves down, get a sense of where our emotions coming from, which is energy in motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to be able to look at, this virtual gallery with all of these beautiful photographs, Devin, I think that I need to say no more on this particular segment because I think that you've said it all. I mean, I'd love to have folks, because we have a lot of people on today. I'd love for if there are any comments or questions. I just can't stop thanking you for putting this together in the way that you've done because again, it's uplifting and it lets us know how we're all feeling.
Yeah.
Which will help us be able to come, I think, closer.
Right. I feel like today this was some catharsis for me because I've been having such bottled up emotions and feelings about everything that's going on in the world. And this is my way of being able to release that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still there. It's something that's still ongoing, but being able to have the conversation, being able to share, my feelings is really what we all need to do in these
Absolutely.
moments.
And when we tell our stories, and we tell our stories through our, just as you said, you don't always have to use words. Yours comes through creative expression, right? So whether or not if we're creatively expressing ourselves or we're simply telling our stories, these are things that we all need to be doing right now to support one another, to lift one another up, to strengthen the heart, that will strengthen the mind, body, and soul. And we need we have power, but it's been so stomped upon,
Yeah.
that we almost feel as though we can't get up off of that knee.
Right. Exactly.
And
photography is a therapeutic release, definitely.
Absolutely.
I've got questions in here.
Absolutely. And so for those who are viewing, I hope that you've enjoyed this wonderful, the presentation today was Futures and Dreams by Devin Marie Donaldson. The work is just incredible, Devin. I think that this is a piece that we should think about, putting into a curriculum and trying to get that out, to more folks than just those of us here, on live or recorded. So let's work on getting that out.
Absolutely. And anyone that has questions about any of art and photography can feel free to DM me. Also, if you go to my Instagram page, yes, she gave my whole government name, girl.
Okay, I'm not.
But
what did I do?
If you want to, Niana's laughing because you gave my whole name.
Okay.
But if you want to look at more of my art, please go over to my page. A lot of these photos are there as well. So feel free to browse through. I touch on a lot of different subjects with my art. A lot of it is not necessarily political, but it is about activism. A lot of it is about women's strength, feminism, beauty. There's a lot of different sort of themes there. So feel free to check me out. My Instagram is Overt Exposure. And head over to my page, DM me. I'm happy to have a conversation, explain more about where I'm coming from on some of these things. And I would also absolutely love to hear some of your thoughts and opinions on what these pieces meant to you, what you saw, your perspective.
And I wonder, did I stop rolling because I'm not seeing people's responses?
Oh, I don't know why.
No?
I can see them.
Okay, so it's kind of stopped. It stopped with me saying what I was going to say. So I wonder what I may have touched to stop, because are people asking any questions or anything? And
I think we're kind of wrapping up, but I'll jump off and let you finish up, and then you'll be able to see the comments again.
Okay, no, I don't want you to jump off. Let's jump off. We're going to jump off. We're going to jump off together. Okay. Again, I just want to thank you, Devin, for being on the session today. I think it's just helped all of us in many different ways. I hope you realize that.
Thank you.
And so I just want to again wish everyone, first of all, love, right?
Absolutely.
And second of all, just taking this time that we have now for some greater reflection on
Right.
where do we go from here,
Oh,
right?
that's great.
Okay, so sending love to the family there, Devin.
Yeah,
Stay
everybody's
safe
coming to
there.
talk to me now.
Okay? And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And we'll be back again tomorrow. And I believe that Courtney's going to be joining tomorrow with Young Cool Mom.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
We'll check that out. So I'm blessed by all of my children who always are willing to share their wonderful talents. When I ask them, even when they don't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
Um, Peace and love, everyone. Ashe.
Ashe.